Here's a low investment strategy on T16 to farm Scarab that I've been running. The Scarab price is pretty good right now and I think it's quite profitable. Each map takes around 3 minutes to complete and also giving an insane amount of gold. On average, I make around 30,000 gold per map and that's over 500,000 gold per hours. In this strategy, we are leveraging the lanterns mechanics with a magic packs and let's talk about it. Alright, so after some initial testing, I realized that the Scarab upon the traders can actually apply to the old flame monsters. While this is not something significant based on the description on the wiki, the loots and experience from killing these packs will greatly increase. Now, when you scale that with the lantern modifiers, you can get some pretty good results. I'm also utilizing the divination Scarab plenty as well. This Scarab was changed at league start due to some shenanigan with the Divine Orb card abuse and was kinda forgotten about. But I'm using it right now because it's the only Scarab that adds packs of magic monster to our maps, and we'll scale that with the monstrous lineage Scarab. This will really juice up our map with a lot of magic monster, and if you have farmed magic monster before, you know they drop really good loots and a lot of gold. This is also made possible by some of the lantern modifiers that add quantity, rarity, and off-flame monster to our maps. Our maps will have really good density and you're killing a lot of good monster in such a short time, and doing this consistently on repeat will provide many good Scarab checkpots and good loots, especially on hours that have those quantity modifiers. Now, the strategy also adds no extra mechanics to our map, so I'll say it's a pretty fun and lazy playstyle, just like Alk and Go. All you do is speed through the maps, killing as many monsters as you can. The Divination Scarab with plenty packs can also drop div cards, so I suggest you scry a good div card onto the map that you're running. But I wouldn't count the div card to drop though. Our main income from this strategy will mostly come from Scarab. The LS setup is very simple because we are optimizing for Scarab. So what I did is blocking all the bad Scarab nodes here, leaving Harvest and Ultimatum open. Then I spec into these nodes here to get more ambush, dominations, and cartography Scarab. I also focus on taking all the extra Scarab drop chance wherever possible. This means doing some weird pathing like going over here just to grab those extra 4% chance nodes. Beside the Scarabs, I spec into map drop chance as well because T17 map is very expensive and we do get a lot of maps during farming. You can sell the T17 and feed the extra T16 map to the mappers in King's March. Now you should take all the implicit notes here as well because we'll be running 8 modded maps and we want to scale the implicit there. If you don't want to run 8 modded map, it's fine, but just expect less loot and gold. The last mechanics are Shrine, and it's because they are very powerful in this league. A Shrine adds magic monster to our map and giving us borrow power to finish the map faster. Oh, and this note means that the extra pack that Shrine adds will scale with the Scarab of monstrous lineage as well because it's magic. Now, you may have noticed that I don't have any points back into Altas. Now, I don't like checking Altas since there's a few mods that break my build. Also, the extra point can go into Scarab, so we don't really lose anything by not specing into the Alta. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the other tree. Now, technically, you can run this on any layout that you like as long as it's linear and easy. In my opinion, the best layout would be Strand, but I choose Toxic Sewer because the layout is just as good and the density is much better than Strand. The tight corridor in Toxic Sewer mean that it's easier to pick up gold, but it's really just come down to your preference. Both Toxic Sewer and Shrine will be good for the strategy. Now, I'm running 1 Scarab of Monstrous Lineage and 3 Divination Scarab of Plenty. The last one is flexible, but if you are in Necro set with a league, I would highly recommend trying to use at least 1 Scarab of 100 traders. If you're in normal league or standards, I would go for another Scarab of Plenty instead. Feel free to try out different combinations. So we are running 8 modded map and we'll be crafting domination on the map device. If somehow you don't have access to 8 modded map, I would recommend you to at least chisel and valve your map. If you wanna go down that route, then make sure you also take the chisel perfection node as well. Okay, so here's a quick map showcase to show you how the run is, and then I'll quickly show some highlights of the 50 maps. So the difficulty for this farm is not that high, but the mob can be quite rippy, so you need to be careful. The build I'm running is PoE Siphon Ballista, and now I'm in a Swellen setup, so I can do this farm quite easily. Each map should take you from 2 to 3 minutes in total, and you should try to have a strict filter when running this strategy. As you can see, the density from our map is very good. The layout of Toxic Sewer is also very good once you get used to it. Basically, you just need to path on one side, hugging a wall until you get to the boss, then hug the other wall until you get back to where you started. Now, if possible, you should also get some rarity on your gears, because Magic Monster Pack drop a lot of gold. Right now, I'm only running a gold flask, but I'll probably swap out one of the blue gems for rarity gems later as well to farm even more gold. You're looking at about 20,000 to 30,000 gold or more depending on the lantern modifiers per map, and you're running a lot of them, so the gold per hours comes out to be like 500,000 or more. So originally, I also tested the Bloodline Scarab, but since this is T16 maps, I don't think it'll be worth it. And for T17 farming, I would definitely recommend something like Bloodline and Glittery setup, which is a lot higher investment. It's similar to what Snoopy is doing in his 1000 mark farms. But anyway, let's quickly show you some highlight of my 50 maps, and we'll talk about profit calculation after. Alright, so here's the result of my 50 map tests. Now the actual result that you get can be better or worse depending on the Flame modifiers. But anyway, the total goal that I got over 50 maps is roughly 1.5 million, which is about 30,000 gold per map. The investment costs for the 50 maps are going to be a rough estimate because the economy can change at any time, especially after I post this video. So I'll put the price breakdown for my investment on the left, and I farm my old 8-modded maps, so if you're buying maps, you'll be spending a little bit more currency. I would highly recommend you to farm your own T16 8-modded maps. And for the revenue tracking, I'm using Wealthy Exiles, and these prices might be inaccurate, however, I'll take that as a rough estimate, okay? I'm going to take off this DLM modification because it's a lucky drops. And everything else is as expected. As you can see, we get a lot of Scarabs, T17 maps, and some jackpot div card. We get some raw divines, jackpot currency drop, which I suspect come from the 100 traders and the Flame modifiers. The total revenues come out to be roughly 31 divines. So in conclusion, the total net profit that we get is 23.8 div, which is about 0.5 div per map. Pretty good in this economy in my opinion, at least for the Necro Settler League. Now, if you're able to run a map in 3 minutes, that will translate to roughly 10 div and 500,000 gold per hours. And with a faster build, I'm pretty sure you can do this in 2 minutes and get a lot more profit per hours. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoy this content, please give me a like, sub, and comments below. And I think I'll cover some PoE 2 content next since I'm pretty hyped after today's stream, so look forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to join my Discord and see you in the next video soon.